another RacerX Wednesday after 4 months. Though the lighting is a little bit weird. I'm going to maybe switch it up just a little bit here. But anyway, guys, welcome back to RacerX Wednesday. After 4 months, I'm finally coming back live to you guys. And I'm really excited to have a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about tonight. So this should be a lot of fun. I want to get a really quick audio check. I want to say hi to everybody as they jump into the live tonight. Tonight's topic is all about the Demon 170, and it is gone. We're going to talk a lot about kind of my thought process behind that, a lot about my most recent video, and we'll kind of go from there. We'll see how it goes. But real quick audio check for you guys. Like I said, I love doing these live sessions. It's just been a while since I got to do one of these for you guys, and I'm kind of excited about it tonight. So once again, guys, as you jump in, please do me a big, gigantic favor. Please hit that little thumbs up button. It lets everybody know that we are live. After 4 months, I've got a lot of catching up to do, guys. So I'm so sorry that it's taken me this long to get back live with you guys. So many of you guys have messaged me, RacerX, when are you going to be live again? Are you ever going to do another live? Well, tonight is the night, guys. And like I said, I'm kind of looking forward to talking through some things with you guys because lots happened over the course of the last 4 months or so. So anyway, let me go ahead and jump into my own live so I can read your comments as they come in. I want to say hi to some people. Once again, guys, I will go ahead and prioritize any of the super chats comments first. That's just what I've always done. And then I will try to get to as many comments tonight as well as I talk through a lot of this stuff. So hopefully my audio is good. Let me take a real quick look here and see what we've got. My man Aaron is in the building. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Joseph Barlow is here. My man Sovereign Knight, of course. Good to see you, buddy. It's been 4 months. It definitely has. JJ Seasdos says, what's up? Good to see you, buddy. Venom Sosa, what's up, RacerX? Definitely not you, thank God. I love to see him in the building tonight. He said, what's up, buddy? Drag Van is here. We got a lot of the crew in tonight. It's good to see. Hit that like button. Although Sovereign says spike the like button. I don't know if you want to do that or not. Blue Ice 392. What was the code reader you had on your channel a little while ago? Oh, geez, I've had a lot of stuff on my channel. I think it was the Ansel code reader. I'll have to get back with you on that one. So it's been a minute. So let me see who else we've got here. Let's see. John is in the house. Pleasure to chat with you. Thank you, John. Let's see. Your watermark is missing bottom right hand of the corner. Huh, that's kind of strange. Yeah, I switched my orientation this time. Every time I do a live, I feel like I have technical issues, guys. So it's just one of those things that, you know, what do you do? I don't know. At least I got the orientation right. It was fighting me before I started the live. I know that was an issue last time. Got it figured out. But anyway, guys, like I said, I have a lot of stuff to talk through with you guys tonight. I want to say hi to some people for just a minute or two. And then I want to jump into the Demon and then maybe what's next. I know a lot of you guys are wondering, now that the Demon 170 is gone, what I'm going to be going to. So we will kind of talk through some of my thoughts on that as well. Let's see who else we got in the building tonight. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. Dragvan said, you get to see the video I posted on YouTube, my van racing semi-truck. I have not. You'll have to send it to me. Hit me on Instagram and send me the link, buddy. So that would be cool to check out. Let's see here. What is it? It's the Dre Breezy 24. Hi, RacerX. I'm glad to see you're going to move forward, and I know it was hard to let the 170 go. It was. A lot of you guys, like I said, saw my most recent video where I talked a lot about just some of the difficulty in letting that car go. We'll kind of jump into some of that, but I appreciate it. Who else we got here? Let me jump down. Richard Ryder, I love it. Racetracks, Scat Pack's gone. New Hurricane Rebel X. Nice. I heard a lot of people are liking those Rebel X's. So they are a pretty solid little setup. Standard output Hurricane, but a really nice package on those. Venom Sosa, let's see. What can I put on my Scat Pack Challenger to an easy boost? Well, you could do a Pro Charger. They make a couple of different kits, right? I mean, Pro Charger makes a really easy, simple bolt-on kit. Keep the stock pulley on it. Don't go above 6.5, 7 pounds. And those cars actually make really good power. That's a centrifugal force blower. And then I think they've got several different Scat Pack options. I thought about doing a supercharged Scat Pack for the channel. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We'll talk about some of that later. But there's lots of different options when it comes to boosting. But the biggest thing with the Scat Pack is they're not super boost friendly. So Don't go crazy with boost. It's not like a Coyote, guys. I tell you that all the time. It is, it's a push rod engine, and it doesn't like anything more than about 7 psi. That's my recommendation. I've heard guys, no, 10 psi, and then they blow up their engine. So anyway, just my advice. But let's see here. Greetings from Sarasota, says John. Good to see you there. Donald says hello. Good to see you, my friend. Oh, my man Black Ghost is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Well, Greg's in the house. Good to see you. Let's see. Eric Taylor's here. He says, hey, RacerX, glad you're doing another live. Was sad to see the 170 go, but I'm looking forward to progress on the Camaro and what is coming next. So we'll jump into that, but thank you very much. Twin Turbo, the Camaro, says, what is this? K Jenkins 14. That's definitely an option. That's the great thing about an LT1 is you can do all sorts of stuff. Blank slate. Let's see. Landsworth says, greetings from Montana. My man Clint is in the house, of course. John Lorden is here. Just took delivery of a 21 Scat Pack with a manual, and I love it. Make sure you get you like a Barton shifter. Any of you manual guys out there, I've driven a bunch of them. You guys actually saw me put one on my channel with one of my subscribers that had a Barton shifter, had a cam in it. And man, that Barton shifter really, really transforms that car in terms of how it drives. And it's a relatively simple, easy mod, but man, it drives different. So it looks like I got what did I get? A super chat here. Who is it? My man, Gary Fuller. I love it. Gary, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, I miss your live shows. Yes, guys, my apologies. It has been a while since I have been live with you guys. And I will definitely try and do these at least once a month and try and give you guys a little bit of notice. You guys may have noticed on my community page that I put out something this morning about how I was going to be live tonight. Ideally, if I can give you guys 1 or 2 days notice, I will. But I thought since I just obviously moved away from the 170, I wanted to talk through some of that tonight and talk about maybe some of my other things that's going on, talk about my thought process, maybe with a different car. So we'll talk through it tonight. But thank you again for the super chat, Gary. I really appreciate it. Man, let's see. Who else have I not talked to? Humberto says, why does my last call Challenger Hellcat overheat just cruising? Temp goes up to 217.20. That sounds like an issue. I've already taken to dealership. They tell me it's normal. I'm trying to think of where, I don't know. I mean, that's one of those things that you may want to have the stat looked at. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what my Hellcat ran at. Of course, my Hellcat was modified and I had different intercooler on that car. I had some other stuff going on with that car. So it's hard for me to remember exactly where that car ran. But if you're concerned about that, a couple different options, right? I mean, you could tune it, put it like a 180-degree stat in it. And I had a 180-degree stat in my car for a long time. I don't know. As long as I always kind of just look at it, if it's more than halfway, then I realize it's probably running a little bit hot. Sometimes they will get a little hot, especially if you're sitting in traffic. So there's that piece of it. But if they're saying it's within normal operating temp, maybe it is okay. I'd have to just kind of see kind of where it is. So anyway, guys, let's see. Roland, good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Who else have I got? Null is in the house. Sissio Performance is close to you in St. Pete. They work on the LT platform. Maybe I will give them a quick look. Who is it? Sissio. I've never even heard of those guys. If they're LT guys, maybe that's why. I'll take a look at them. I appreciate the heads up on that. 127 people in, guys, but only 49 thumbs up. Please do me a big favor. Hit thumbs up for me on the way in the door tonight. That lets everybody know that we are, in fact, live tonight. So let me see if I can grab a couple other comments and I want to jump into something. Kenny says, hi, everyone. Glad I made the live stream. Absolutely, buddy. Egyptian Wolf God. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Who else have I not said hi to? Legendary 351. Also, try to get older cars to play with and modify. That's certainly one way to go. Let's see. Terry says, are you going to buy a different car or waiting to see what Dodge does with the new V8? So we will jump into all that here in just 1 second, guys. Carl says, RacerX, hear me out before you get another car for the channel. Pre-23 single cab 4x4 F-150s are going to be the next Fox body if you document the process of taking it from a slow truck to a fast truck. So I've heard a lot of guys talk about the new F-150s, how they've got that factory option on those, obviously with the Coyote, where they make good power. Certainly, that's an option. I've never really been much of a truck guy. I did own a Rebel before, but I never really made much content with it. That was a while back when I just barely first started my channel. And I don't know, it's definitely an option, right? It's definitely something. There's a lot of different ways we could go. Somebody else, Sovereign says the 5.0 and the F-150 is cool. Let's see here. Since you always have high horsepower cars, why not try more of a tuner build? So, guys, we'll kind of jump into a lot of that. Let me, let's see here. A washed 2004 says, I'm thinking of getting a used Ram, but I don't know what year to get. Well, of course, the possibilities are endless there, right? I mean, my biggest takeaway there is make sure you find something that's been well taken care of, that's got good maintenance records, that hasn't been in a wreck, no bent frames or anything like that, hopefully low miles. It really depends on your budget, right? So it's kind of hard to say. I mean, kind of work your budget and then decide, after insurance and all that kind of stuff, what's really doable. So my man OC jumping in the house tonight with the super chat. Good evening, RacerX. Good to see you in the building tonight, buddy. I appreciate the gesture there, the super chat, and it's always good to see our man OC Motivator in the building tonight as well. So, guys, really quick, I want to jump into some stuff. I know I haven't said hi to just to everybody, and I'll try and get to more comments here momentarily. So first off, those of you guys that have watched my most recent video, I did put a lot of thought into that one, and that was one of the more transparent videos I think I've ever done for you guys. And sometimes I feel like being transparent tends to bite me in the butt a little bit because people tend to overanalyze everything I do. It's the internet, I get it. Sometimes I'll even talk about how I broke my demon in and the way that I did it, and and then people will be like, no, he didn't do and people are always looking for some reason to dig at you or complain or whatever else. But guys, I've kind of just decided, that that's sort of just how I am. I feel like it's valuable to be kind of transparent with you guys, especially on these live sessions where I feel like I can get live feedback from you guys. That's always valuable for me. But in this last session, I did talk about it. The big thing is because I saw a couple of comments. People said, look, you can't, you're just a salesman. Like you're just flip car to car. You're just a salesman. You're all about the money, which I think is a pretty ridiculous thing to say, because if I was all about the money, I either would have flipped it immediately after I got it, or I would have flipped it a year ago and made a hell of a lot more money, because I didn't make very much money on the car, guys. That's not why I bought it. I mentioned that in my video. I didn't buy this Demon to make money. I bought the Demon to have fun, to show what the car is capable of, to kind of help the Dodge brand, because I feel like it's an awesome car. It is an awesome car. It is a true feat of engineering, and I wanted to use it for its intended purpose. And I had goals with the car. It wasn't easy. It is not an easy car to drive. Anybody that tells you a Demon 170 is easy to launch, oh, this guy does it perfect. No, nobody launches a Demon 170 perfect. Now, the guys that are tuned, they have a little bit easier time because they are leaving in second gear. A lot of those guys, not a lot, almost all of the guys that are tuned with Demon 170s leave in second. Either that or they pull a bunch of power out on the hit in first. But if you're trying to launch a stock tuned Dodge Demon in first gear, if the prep is not almost perfect, you will spin almost every single time. And so, that was part of the problem, is that, the car's a little bit tough. So like I said, I'm going to be transparent with you guys again tonight about my thought process around the Demon. But ultimately, if I wanted to make money on the car, I would have sold it a year ago, probably made another $30,000 to $50,000 on the car, and then just cut bait. But I had unfinished business, right? I had not beaten the Plaid. I had not even had a chance to race the Lucid, right? I didn't come anywhere near Dodge's time. And then when they put the new engine in the car, after the engine started eating itself, I really was a little bit mad at Dodge for not being transparent with me about what happened. Some people say, well, they don't owe you that. Okay, fine, whatever. But they did tell me they were going to tell me initially. And I feel like it would have been nice, because here I am with a brand new motor, and I don't want the same thing to happen. So I would have liked them to have maybe been a little bit more open with me about what happened. But the new engine, when it came in, and I've mentioned this on videos, it felt a little bit different. It sounded different. I just think I got a really, really early build, guys. They prioritized my build, full transparency. My build, even though it was Demon 615, of course, he's going to start doing this right when I'm on my live. Hey, right when I'm on my live. Are you serious? Anyway, sorry. Anyway, guys, so but my car literally sat forever. Like it just sat outside because it was built so early. Get over here right now and stop. What the hell? Um, but because it was built so early, it got kind of pinned in behind a bunch of other cars, and I waited and waited and waited to get the car. But because it was a really early build, I heard a lot of the early build cars had engine problems. It is what it is. So anyway, guys, I'll grab that. Saw another super chat come in, guys. Thank you. But at any rate, you know, it is what it is. So I mean, it's a 1,000+ horsepower engine. It was broken incorrectly. There was a guy on one of the forums that just could not give it up about how I didn't break the engine incorrectly. Well, it was broken incorrectly. And Dodge did tell me, and I know I've mentioned this before, but the engine failure had nothing to do with break-in. So anyway, I just want to clear the air on that for anybody out there who thought it was because of a break-in, the way the car was broken in. It wasn't. And anyway, it was just the engine wasn't healthy. And then the new engine went in, and instead of me just selling the car right away, I stuck with it. I got to race the Plaid again. I showed that this car can beat the Plaid under the right conditions, and that is the fastest Plaid you're going to get. Brooks is a really good driver. Kudos to him. Driven a lot of different stuff, and a brand new Plaid is as fast as a Plaid is going to get. And they tend to slow down over time because that's the way batteries work. And that had the track pack on it, so it was a little bit lighter, had the better brakes on it. I mean, it is truly the baddest you can make a Model S Plaid. And the Demon still was able to get out on them. We had exact reaction times, which is exactly what I wanted. Now, granted, I spun 2 times, but it does show that the car can beat it. And all conditions being right, the Demon 170 will run, or is capable of running, a faster time than a Plaid. So anyway, guys, that's just, you know, I was really proud about that. I basically ran about the same time as the Lucid, except he left on Saturday for a race that took place on Sunday. He left like 3.5, almost 4/10 early. It wasn't like a little bit. In drag racing, that is a lot. So I really wish we would have got a good race in, because at that point, it is literally a driver's race. And a lot of people think that a Lucid Air Sapphire will absolutely just drag a Demon 170 all day long. And in heat and you know, bad conditions, it will. I mean, that car is an absolute handful, over 1,400 pound-feet of torque. But I ran the same time he did, and he was at a pretty full state of charge. And that just goes to show you how formidable the Demon 170 is when everything works, right? You get the right driver on the right track with halfway decent conditions. Mind you, I'm not even, you know, the stuff you guys get up there in the Northeast, we will never sniff that here in Florida in terms of the air quality. We just won't. I mean, it's really heavy air down here in terms of just very humid, a lot of grains. We just don't get the air, which is why I wasn't able to beat Dodge's time. I got really close, 904 at over 150, like 150.5, and I beat their 60-foot time. I just did not have the air in order to beat Dodge's time, and I feel like I could have. And I got many of you guys messaged me like, dude, come up here to the Northeast, man. Like, you will definitely, and the car will do it. That car that I just sold, I feel like would have beat Dodge's time. But guys, I'm not going to get that kind of air in Florida to do it. And so I kind of came to that realization. And the other part of it, and now here's the other part I want to be fully transparent about. We've got 200 people on, guys. Please hit thumbs up on your way in the door. So I don't know. I'm just going to tell you guys. So the Demon was costing me, and I'm not going to exaggerate numbers or anything. I'm just going to tell you. The Demon was costing me about $3,000 a month. That's what that car cost me. Between car payment, and granted, it's not like I had no money down, and you guys are going to sit there. If you want to punch the numbers, fine. I'm just telling you what they are. Big old car payment. The insurance is a lot because I live in Florida, one of the most expensive places to insure cars. And by the time you put gas in it and everything else, that car was costing me about $3,000 a month. And that is not chump change. And so I've always maintained, if cars don't bring back at least bring back a little bit of return, is it really worth it, right? Is it really worth it for me? You know, and my channel's kind of down. YouTube isn't paying, guys. You'll hear a lot of YouTubers talking about this right now, but YouTube isn't paying. A lot of people are making a half, a third of what they used to make, including myself. It is what it is, guys. And a lot of people just aren't getting the views. They're putting out good quality content, but for whatever reason, people just aren't watching YouTube the same way. It's just a lot harder to make a lot of money on YouTube. So when you've got $3 grand sitting out there on a car that, during rainy season in Florida, you pretty much can never take it outside the garage and feel confident that you're not going to get stuck. Because with those big Mickey Thompsons on the back, and people say, oh, well, then buy a truck and tow it. I could. But then I have to find a place to put a trailer, and I just don't have that here. I don't have a big shop, guys. A lot of people are like, oh, he has a big shop and he's got this and a huge house. No, I don't have any of that. So I would have to find a place to store my trailer. I would have to go out and buy something that's not very good on gas, just so that I can pull my car to the track every once in a while, and then hope it's not going to rain while I'm there. But then here we have this really hot air, right, in Florida, and really I'm not going to get good race air down here until December, early December, where the car is going to run any sort of time that I would be comfortable being like, hey, look what I did. Does that make sense? So we're 6 months out from me. So I've got $15,000 out there for the next 6 months, where it's a car that I just can't really make any content with. And here's the other thing nobody talks about, guys, and I know I'm on a little bit of a rant, but that's what I do on these lives. It's a car that normally you guys see me mod cars, right? Dusterhoff wanted to work with me on this car to mod it. I decided not to. Dodge gave me a 10,000-mile warranty, a 100,000-mile warranty. 10 years, 100,000-mile warranty when they replaced my engine. Do I really want to void that? Okay, you saw the engine replacement, $50,000, guys. I don't have 50 grand hiding under my mattress. I hate to tell you that. If you come look, it's not there. So is it really smart for me to mod the car, void the warranty, so I can run a couple tenths faster? Because my track videos, guys, I hate to say it, but I love doing them, and I feel like I've always been a racer, so you're always going to get track footage from me, but they are the most expensive videos that I make, and oftentimes they get the least number of views. That's reality. So I'm just kind of setting the stage, guys, helping you guys kind of understand where I'm at. It is what it is. If you really look at true race footage, even guys like Drag Times who have big channels, their race footage isn't doing what it used to. I don't know what it is, but it's not. So, if I go out and I spend $300 at a track rental, I spend $100 in fuel, and then I put 200 miles on the car to drive to Bradenton and back, between depreciation and fuel and everything else, maybe it's $1,000 at minimum. And there's no way those videos are going to come even close to bringing that kind of money back in. Not even close. So it is, guys, it just is what it is. I have to be smart about the way that I make content. And otherwise, I'm just going to go broke, and you can only do that for so long. And everybody says, well, then you're just a businessman. Guys, this isn't just a hobby. I put a lot of time and a lot of effort into my channel to make content. Hopefully you guys like, right? And I'm so blessed to have so many loyal subscribers, so many people that follow my channel that really like my content, that they just support me. And I love that about you guys. And thank you all so much for that. And at the end of the day, I still have to be smart about financially what I do, if that makes sense. So it's not that I didn't love the Demon, because I do, but at some point you have to be smart about it. And there was a lot of, that was the other thing about it, and I talked about it in the video, but Green Rush says, I love you, bro. Thank you too, brother. I appreciate that. That connection with my mom was there on this car. And I kind of told her before she died that this was something that I want to see it through. I know this car can do it. I know the car can beat the Plaid. I know the car can run with these other cars that nobody thinks it can run with. I know I can get close to beating Dodge's time. I know I can do it. And that was the big reason that I stuck with it. Yes, I took a financial hit for sticking with it, because the cars have come down in value since a year ago. But I am a man of my word. It's just like the first time I raced Brooks. I can't help that it rained all 3 times I was going to have practice sessions in the car. But I'm a man of my word. I told him I would be there that day to race because we had content to make, and I showed up and I raced. It wasn't necessarily the ideal situation because I didn't beat the Plaid. I wanted to, and then later I did, but it took a lot of hard work and a lot of learning the car, all that stuff. So, it is what it is. But that's really why the big reason I hung on to it is just because there was some sentimental attachment, from my mom, and it meant a lot to me. The car still means a lot to me, and I wish I didn't have to sell it. Mods, thank you again for what you guys are doing. I appreciate you guys kind of keeping my live clean here. So at any rate, but guys, anyway, I'm just kind of being open and honest with you guys about my thought process with the Demon. It's I wish I could have kept it forever, and if it made sense for me to do so, I definitely would. But guys, at some point you just kind of have to move forward and realize that you know that it doesn't make sense anymore, right? And if I put content out, in 6 or 8 months, now we're 2 years into this car, and the shelf life on content, guys, I hate to say it this way, it doesn't last forever. And you can see it. I mean, you could saw it with my Hellcat, I saw it with my Mustang. Really, the shelf life for content, and once again, the transparent moment, is 8 months to a year. And then that's what you get. And then all of a sudden you just see your content go like this. And you have to keep your content fresh. You have to keep your cars fresh. And it is really hard. Being a car YouTuber is very difficult because it's very expensive to buy cars. It's hard to keep rotating them out. And it's a double-edged sword, right? Because I saw a bunch of super chats. I'm going to get to you guys in one hot second. Because on one hand, if you pay a whole bunch of money for a brand new car, you can make content with it for a little while, but then you're stuck with this massive payment if it's a $100,000 car or more. Or you buy a cheap car, but then you have to figure out how to mod it. So if you mod it and you put $50,000 into mods, chances are you're not going to make that back with your YouTube content, and you're not going to get it back when you sell it. You guys kind of see where it becomes difficult? So, I have to be in a position where I can utilize kind of my sponsorships and stuff like that to build cool stuff. And maybe it's something somebody wants to emulate just because they are a car person and they want to keep their car and they think it's awesome. And a lot of people have done that, like with my Hellion build, right? With my twin turbo Mustangs. So, I think that that's cool, but like I said, again, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Do you go down the modding route and do you spend $30,000 or $50,000 making something cool that people can follow, and then after a year they get tired of watching it? Or do you buy the expensive thing, make fun content with that, you have a big old payment, and then just plan to do something else in 6 to 8 months? That's kind of the current state of things. Or the other thing that you're seeing a lot of guys do, like Weston, my buddy Weston Champlin, you put a big old plow on the front of a semi and plow through an entire runway full of cars. Or, if you're whistling diesel, you go buy an Abrams tank or whatever the hell it is, and you run stuff. Like, people have gone just crazy with their content stuff. That's the reality of things. And if you're not doing something different, it makes it really, really tough. And so, sometimes I start scratching my head. I do have some ideas for what I want to do for the channel, but I just wanted to talk through the Demon a little bit because it was a very difficult decision. I really feel like my mom would have understood when I needed to get rid of the car and why, and she would have, guys. And I just feel like she was just so proud that I got it in the first place because she knew that I would do good things with the car, good things for the community, like I said I would. I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff I did on the Demon 170, while it wasn't great at first, it ended up showing that that car is unbelievable in terms of what it can do. And that was my goal. And I did that. And so, I feel good about the fact I stuck with the car as long as I did. So anyway, guys, that's my thought process on it. Let me grab a couple of these, I'm going to just work my way up. JB's Garage says, hope all is well. It'll be great to see what comes next. Thank you very much, JB's Garage. I really appreciate the super chat, buddy. Means a lot. My man Drag Van, of course, chiming in. He says, I need to put a gated shifter in the van on the race with the semi truck. I missed second and went, to third and back to second and still ran a 7:53. That's hilarious to do that in an ice cream truck. But yeah, maybe changing that shifter to a gated shifter might kind of change the game a little bit for you, because you can't be missing gears and still being competitive. It sounds like you still did all right to me, but that's pretty cool. I love it. So really quick, let me jump up here. Who else have I missed? Let's see here. Okay, here we go. The vlog, the Tog Vlog Health. He says, RacerX, I could not help but find out what caused your original Demon 170 engine failure. It is sad. The lead attorney, my sister. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's see. For Stellantis, could not validate the cause of your engine failure. Yes. The Tog Vlog Health actually messaged me a long time ago about this, and he actually tried to kind of work some back channels to help me find out what happened to my engine. And I know he was working all sorts of stuff on the back end, and they were so tight-lipped about everything that happened with that engine. I don't think they wanted it to get out. At the end of the day, like I said, guys, I can explain it away if they would have told me, like, just hey, look, this is a 1,000+ horsepower engine. This is the most powerful up until the ZR1 recently. This is the most powerful, engine that they've put in an American production car. It is a monster. I mean, it's a race engine. Look at everything they put in this. You're going to have some things that happen to these. It's just like when you go to the racetrack, guys, brake. The more horsepower you make, the more you brake. That's the way it goes. So, and I think everybody could have understood that to a degree. Oh, well, it has a warranty. Well, yeah, they replaced it under warranty. But the fact that Dodge had the balls to put a 1,000+ horsepower drag engine that's capable of doing 1, 2, 3, 60 foots in a 4,200-pound car, what? It's just wild. But they did it. And kudos to them for doing that. And then they stood behind it. And everybody said, oh, well, if you weren't RacerX, you wouldn't have got your engine replaced, which is not true. I talked to a lot of guys who also had engine problems, part of owning basically a race car, and Dodge replaced them. Now, I did talk to one guy who waited like 6 months for whatever the heck reason. I don't know what happened there. I'm hoping they got him squared away. But so I do hear some weird stories like that. But at the end of the day, just about everybody I talked to that had engine problems, Dodge took care of them. That's just what I have heard. So let me know if I'm off on that, guys. But like I've had a lot of people messaging me and say, no, Dodge, it took a little while, but they got it sorted. So anyway, just like I said, just kind of food for thought. Great. Appreciate the super chat again, buddy. I really do. And I appreciate the work on the back end to try and find that information out for me. And I feel like I missed somebody, so I'm going to jump up really quick. Now there's OC Motivator. I got his. So let me jump down and see who else I have missed, and then I'll grab some more comments. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. We got Dragvan. We got JB's Garage. Who else did we miss, guys? Let's see. Hang on. Well, did I miss somebody? Who is this here? Sorry, guys. Hang with me. There he is. Jeff says, go Ball State. I love it. So Jeff knows about me being a Ball State alum, and I think that is super cool. So go Cardinals, buddy. I appreciate the super chat as well. So let's see here. Who else have I missed? NJC says welcome. So we got a new member on my channel. So that's awesome as well, guys. Thank you for your generosity on the super chats tonight. I really do. I do appreciate that. And Green Rush. That's the one I missed. Green Rush. I'm sorry, buddy. He says thanks for your hard work. Your mom is proud of you, buddy. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And, guys, I hope you like my content. I really do my best with it. I know that I'm not perfect, and I know maybe I could make better content. One of the things I really tried to do with this last video that I put out was I took a whole day to edit that video, a little more than that. And I tried to put a little sort of monologue at the end of that video. Did you guys see that? Where I talked about what it's really like to be a car person. If you haven't watched that video to the end, my most recent video, go to like the 19-minute mark, I think. I know it's a longer video, guys. I get it. And not everybody wants to sit and watch all that. But I feel like I speak to the way car people really feel about cars and why they're so important to us. And I think it put a lot of, I wanted to put a lot of thought into that little piece of it while I was driving my Demon 170 for the last time, because it does tug at your heartstrings just a little bit. And I've been through it many, many times, just as a lot of you guys have, right? Anytime we have to give up a car that we love, it is hard because it takes just that little piece of us with it. And there's just something about being a car person, and sometimes it's the right thing to do, but it's still difficult. And that's kind of the situation. I mean, I just talked to my good buddy Rob. Many of you guys, he used to go by Quick Brick, and he was always on all my lives and stuff like that. Really, my best friend. And he had that white Charger. Those of you guys that have been following my channel a long time, you guys know who he is. And he was my very first sub ever on my channel. Sub number one. We're now at 235 something thousand people. He was sub number one. And he was talking about, he still watches my old content with his Charger in it. And he got rid of his Charger many, many years ago. but he still goes back and he watches it because it makes him happy to watch when he used to race that car. And that's kind of what I'm talking about, is that like there's just something about when we have these cars, it takes a little piece of us away when they go away. And we have the memories up here, right? But that's kind of what's cool about going to the next thing, right? And the next chapter is like, now it's time for some new memories, and it's time, to go down a little bit different path. And that's okay. But like I said, as car people, I don't think normal folks, they see it, they don't see it the same way that car people do, in terms of, they just change out cars. It's just some, they throw trash in it, and they don't take care of them, or maybe they do, but they just don't have the same sentimental attachment like we car people do. So anyway, go check that out, guys, if you get a chance. I do have a couple other things to mention. Let me make sure I'm not, Green Rush, thank you again for the super chat, guys. You guys are awesome tonight. And let's see, there's Jeff's. And then Lanswath also, he says, I love your channel. Keep up the great work, RacerX. Thank you very much, buddy. I really do appreciate that, and means a lot. Thank you guys very, very much. And I did want to mention, because I've got a new video coming out tomorrow. Still 213 people on, guys. Hit the thumbs up on your way in the door, because we're going to talk here in a minute about my thought process, maybe for something new for the channel. How far in are we? 36. We're doing good. We're 36 minutes in, guys. I usually try and stay on for a little over an hour for you guys. My hats right now, guys, are 30% off on my channel. I have a little promo tomorrow, just reminding everybody in tomorrow's video. But I'm doing 30% off on both my black and red hats, but I'm only doing it for 20 hats. With these tariffs and stuff, I'm going to have to order some more, but I'm going to have to figure that out, because I don't want to charge you guys more for hats. But luckily, I put a big order in last time, and I still have some. So for the next 20 hats on my Etsy page, and you can see the link on a lot of my videos. If you just go to the video description, you'll see a link to my Etsy page where you can buy my hats. They're 30% off. You don't have to use a special code or anything like that. It will automatically come up. So anyway, guys, you want one of my Off We Go hats, black and red. I still have both available for the next 20 hats. You guys can get 30% off on there. So anyway, want to remind you guys of that. And there was one other thing I wanted to get out. There's my man Sovereign Knight jumping in with the, he's got the link to my hats right there. Thank you, buddy. My man Sovereign Knight is on it always. Love that guy. Let's see here. Patrick says, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone, long time. Like the shirt. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Kind of matches my theme, doesn't it? Imagine that. But thank you, Patrick. It's good to see you, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. The other thing is, and I'm just going to make mention of this, and I know you guys, I don't know if you guys get sick of seeing my dream giveaway promos or not. You might, but I feel like it's cool, because I've had a couple of subs already win. And I love it for some reason. And I enter all of the giveaways, all the promos that I do for you guys. I actually enter the giveaways myself. There's no rule that says I can't win those cars. And honestly, if I won, chances are I would probably give the car away, because they give you the money for the taxes too. So anyway, but they have two huge drawings ending this month. They've got their Mammoth 1000 TRX ending like on the 16th, so less than 2 weeks. And then at the end of the month, their 0 to 60 manual Hellcat, that sublime and green manual Hellcat. They only did that one for 60 days. I've never seen them do a 60-day giveaway. But they actually bought, I'll just tell you the backstory. They actually bought that car along with several other cars they bought from a collector, one of which is going to be really cool. You'll see a promo on that, but I can't tell you anything about it. But man, they get some cool cars. But it's like a manual Hellcat with 19 miles on it, guys. Black and sublime. It is gorgeous. What a sick little car. And anyways, that ends at the end of this month, right? So the TRX and the 0 to 60 manual Hellcat both end this month in June. So I just figured I would mention that to you guys. If you want to use my code, you don't have to, but if you use my code, you get 4x entries, right? All you have to do is enter RacerX. And that works on all of their giveaways. Just thought I would mention it. You guys see the promos I put out with them, and it's cool to see me standing in front of the cars, but I think it's cool when my people win. And it'd be really cool if I won, but my luck, I'll probably never win, but that's okay. As long as one of my people wins, I'm super happy. And so I'm really hoping one of my people wins that Hellcat. The TRX, who knows? But it'd be so cool if somebody won that green Hellcat, because I would definitely do a video with you guys if you won it. So anyway, guys, so I just thought I would put those two things out there really quick. Now, let's talk a little bit. I want to grab just a couple of comments, and then I want to talk about what I'm thinking about getting for the channel. So we still have 200 people on, guys. Please hit thumbs up on your way in the door tonight. Let's grab a couple. When is the LT? Gary says, when are the LT1 mods coming? That was something I was going to talk about tonight, guys, and I'm sorry that I've not been able to put anything out on the Camaro lately. I do have a Camaro video coming very soon. It's actually not on the mods for the car. I've been waiting on a few things to show up for the car. And so the way that I do cars, guys, is I try to figure out what I'm going to do with the car before I ever get it, right? So if I'm thinking about doing a specific build and I try and get all of my ducks lined up, right? Exactly everything I'm going to do for a car, and then I go buy the car. Well, on this Camaro, I mean, there's a ton of different directions I could go with it, but I kind of wanted to do an NA build. But the company that I wanted to do an NA build with, that I kind of had a commitment from, got bought out like the week after I bought this car. And I can't go into a lot more detail about it, but it kind of hosed me. And initially I wanted to do this in steps, and I probably will, but I kind of wanted to do just some light bolt-on mods first. You guys haven't seen me take that car to the drag strip yet, so that's another video that's going to be coming soon, is just taking that car out stock. I don't want to race it. The problem is I don't want to race it on the stock tires, because the stock are little 245 super hard street tires. I don't see the point in that, because I'm not going to be able to get a real baseline. But you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, but I do have plans for the car. I'm still working on some of the mods for the car. I've got a couple of really cool mods getting ready to come in for the car. And now that I don't have the Demon, it kind of frees me up to work on the Camaro more. So I know a lot of people are like, I just want Mopar stuff, which is okay. Who knows what's coming? But you know, the Camaro is a really cool little car. And I will tell you guys, if you've never driven a little LT1 Camaro, 455 horsepower, right? It doesn't sound really overwhelming, right? It's 30 less than a Scat Pack. But that little car scoots. It is a 10-speed transmission in that car, and it weighs 3,600 pounds. It is a full 800 pounds lighter than a Scat Pack Challenger. I'm sorry, 600 pounds lighter. It's 800 pounds lighter than the Charger. But that's a lot, guys. 600 pounds. So basically, put 3 dudes my size in that car. That is the weight difference. And you feel it when you drive it. So 455 horsepower in that car, when you actually do the math on the power to weight ratio, is a lot more than a Scat Pack. So the car feels very darty, as it is, bone stock. And so, you know, that's how that car can go out and beat cars that make a lot of horsepower when they just have, like, you know, bolt-ons and a cam and stuff like that. It's because they don't weigh very much. So, and the 10-speed in them, I mean, is good. So it's anyway, something to think about there, guys. But that little LT1, I mean, I spent just a shade above 30 grand on that car, and that little joker scoots pretty good. Now, it's pretty bare bones on the inside. We got some more stuff coming for the car, but I mean, that little joker will get your attention in terms of just, you know, it's not my Demon fast, guys. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't have that crazy, like, suck your eyeballs back hard pull. But it definitely gets out of its own way. I think if you've driven one of those cars and got on it, you're like, it kind of surprises you a little bit how quick that car is. So anyway, food for thought on the Camaro, but really good question. Steve says LT1, got it. Let's see here. Horse called War. Let's see. He bought a Camaro. Let's see here. He will be modding. Yes, sir. Serene speed, same day, stock tires versus sticky. So that's an option too. And I love when you guys give me video ideas. So don't get me wrong, guys. 2 things. If you have a car and you live around the Tampa area, or you're going to be coming in to the Tampa area, and you have a car that's going to be cool, that's kind of noteworthy, you have some unique stuff done to the car, give me a shout, right? Reach out to me on Instagram, RacerX New, and maybe we can do a video. I love doing subscriber video, you know, subscriber car videos. Those are so much fun to me. And I think you guys really resonate. You know, when I did that video with Anthony about on his little RT that he put a Hellcat blower on, I couldn't believe the traction that video got. So, you know, and you know, we tried to actually go do a second video, a follow-up video, where he was going to dyno that thing, but then the dyno wasn't acting right, and so I never even got to air that content for you guys. So it was kind of weird, but that was fun. When I've done a bunch of subscriber cars on my channel, and that's one of my favorite types of content to shoot, and it's cool just being able to interact. you guys got to see Chris's car. I'm sorry, Chris is the one. I'm sorry, Chris is the one with the Hellcat blower, and then of course Anthony was the one with the Mopar 10. I'm sorry, I kind of got him goofied up, but yeah, Anthony had the Mopar 10. I don't know if you guys saw that one. Super clean car, had a Pro Charger on it. I mean, just a really neat car. And anyway, guys, and you guys got to see me do like the manual Scat Pack with the cam in it. I mean, I've done some cool ones. Anyway, guys, but something to think about there. If you guys think your car would be a good candidate to be on my channel, don't hesitate to reach out if you got some unique stuff. Now, I will say, it doesn't do me any good if you just, have an exhaust on your RT, as much as I would love it. Your car has to have maybe some unique stuff going on that people might be like, oh, that's really cool that he did, XYZ or she did XYZ. But give it some thought. I mean, if you think it would be cool, give me a shout. Let's see here. Let's see. I was that Tesla plaid that beat the demon, says Doug. Okay, let's see here. Horse called war says, let's go Destroyer. Let me go back up and see what we got here. Who have I missed, guys? Let's see here. My man Aaron, what did Aaron say? He says, I couldn't even read that one completely. My mods are busy tonight, guys. So anyway, we're 46 minutes in. So now let's talk a little bit about what's next, right? What tuners do you have in mind? I'm still working on the tuner piece of it, guys. For the Camaro, still working on it. I've not found a lot in Tampa. I had a couple people reach out to me. I still have to figure that part of it out as well, guys. It's a process. Let's see here. So real quick, there were a couple different, Snell says, I know, let's see, do a drag build. Why not a drift build? So, so there is a place to drift out in Orlando. But I don't know if a drift build would resonate with my core audience. Maybe it would. But and I do like drifting. It is definitely an acquired skill. I just don't know if that is something my audience would really get into. Most drift cars, not all, I've seen some exceptions. But a lot of drift cars are like the imports and stuff like that. And traditionally import content doesn't do well on my channel. I've tried. So, but it's definitely something to consider. I mean, all things I will consider at this point because I'm always looking for something new and fun for the channel. So anyway, guys, really quick. So what am I thinking on something else for the channel? So many of you guys have thought ZR1, right? So I will tell you the ZR1 is something that I absolutely love. I think that car is phenomenal. I saw a lot of comments about, hey, he's getting a ZR1. How could he not? So the ZR1 is something that I initially had interest in. But then when I really started to think about it objectively, it doesn't make sense. For the same reason the Demon doesn't make sense. And the reason is, if you think about how much money I had wrapped up in the Demon, right? And I actually spec'd out a ZR1 earlier today, just so you guys know. Just for the heck, not at a dealership. I just went on their website and spec'd out what I felt like would be my ideal spec for a ZR1. And by the time I had, now keep in mind, just a base ZR1 is $177,000. That is base. By the time you add any sort of stuff onto the car that you feel like you would want, it was 190 grand. So my spec came out at one hair over $190,000. Now, if you really think about it, that is 190 grand. Even if you got that car at sticker, which you probably won't. Most people are going to pay a premium for these cars because they're not going to make that many, especially this first year. Just after the taxes, you're going to be $209,000 for that car. $209,000. And then you're paying, the interest rates suck right now. So there's that. So you're going to be 8%, even if you have good credit. So, I mean, as badass as that car is, as much as I would love to have one, and don't get me wrong, guys, I would drive the living crap out of that car. I'm going to be kind of in the same boat with that car as I was with the Demon. I don't see, honestly, I would probably get more, just as many views or more, doing a much more affordable car and just having fun with it and not being scared to put miles on it where I can just drive it. Because that's the boat I was in with the Demon. It was like, I was scared to put miles on it because so many people, 90% of people, took the Demon and they stuck it in a bubble somewhere in some garage and it has 19 miles on it. They literally never ever drove it. And that's the trap you fall into when you start to get into high-end cars is you get all the collector. Well, these people aren't enthusiasts as far as I'm concerned. I don't care what they say. If you have a car like that and you never drive it, you don't even drive it to Cars and Coffee, you are an investor. That's all you are. You are an investor. You just want money. You don't care about that car. And that's what really starts to irk me when you start to get into high-end cars. That is the current status of things. People do it with houses. They have figured out anything with any sort of commodity, right? Any sort of value. People with a lot of money are just going to grab them all up, whether they're an enthusiast or not, and then they're just going to try to make money on it. And that's the way of the world, right? But it is pretty upsetting for an enthusiast because you're taking the car out of hands of people that would actually use the car for what it was intended for and people that would actually enjoy it. And that, I think, is what kills me. But it is what it is. And the ZR1 is going to be no different. People will take those cars, will not drive them. They will sit in a garage somewhere doing zero. And then eventually somebody will try and sell it to try to make money. And if you are one of those people that actually goes out and enjoys your car, that's okay, but you're going to take a huge bath on resale because then you're going to be up against a bunch of cars. I mean, when I sold my Demon, they were like, you have the highest mileage Demon in the country. I had 5,000 miles on my Demon, guys. It's not like I had 100,000 miles on this car. I had 5,000. They're like, no, way too many miles. How are you supposed to compete and sell this car at all because you have 5,000 miles on it? You would have thought I would have had 50,000 on that car. Because so many cars are out there with literally 0 miles. I mean, like literally 19. I mean, that's what they roll off the truck with. Like, these people don't even sit in the cars, let alone drive them. And it's really frustrating. So, if I go that route, I have to basically, you have to be one of those people that like, you have to have so much money that you don't care about how much the car depreciates. That's the reality of it. And I'm not one of those guys. I'm not independently wealthy. I'm just not. Newsflash. I work for a living. I have a YouTube channel. I'm an IT professional, and I don't have the money to go out and drive my car, 10,000 miles a year and actually enjoy it. And then they come back and tell me, oh, well, your car's worth half what it was a year ago because you have all these cars that don't get driven. And so anyway, that's the pitfall, guys. I mean, you can kind of hear the frustration in my voice, but that's the reality of cars these days. It's like when you start jumping up into high-end stuff, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get people, just investors, not car people. They're investors. And they've just chosen to do cars and among other things. But I think it's sad, personally. I feel like these cars should be enjoyed. They should be driven because they just like in my monologue, they put a huge smile on people's faces. They're something that's truly a feat of modern engineering. They're amazing. That car is amazing, the new ZR1. That is a sick car. I would love to own one, but guys, it just doesn't make financial sense. Not for me. If I bought it for 200-something thousand and I've got $5,000 a month wrapped up in that car, it would not make the money back for me, for one. And then I couldn't afford the depreciation on the back end when I went to sell it for making the content from it. So guys, I'm actually leaning more towards doing more affordable cars on the channel. That's kind of where I'm at. So it's not that, if they come out with another high-end Dodge that they might be working on, I would probably be a candidate for that. But who knows? We'll see. But I honestly, guys, I think I'm might maybe just pivot a little bit and do more affordable. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. Either maybe I thought about doing like a manual Blackwing for the channel. I think that would be really cool. It could be really fun. But then again, I'm still out anywhere between $80,000 and $100,000. It's not a cheap car. So, it's just one of those things, guys. I've had to think about it. So another car that I was thinking about doing is a Chrysler 300, but working with direct connection, making it really fast, and putting my drag wheels that were on the Demon on a Chrysler 300, and then maybe calling it something like Gramps. The car's name would be Gramps, just because people think it's an old man's car. But if you really think about what a Chrysler 300 would look like if it made 1,300 horsepower or something with drag wheels on it, I think it'd be pretty epic. I don't know. These are thoughts that run through my head. I thought about maybe doing a twin turbo scat pack build. I don't know, what you guys think about something like that, but that could be a lot of fun. Just throw a 1320 in the house, New Balance shoes for the vet. I love it. Yeah, I'd have to change my wardrobe for sure. Um, oh, I'm watching the comments come in, guys. I'm loving it. RacerX, let's see, 6-speed dog box. I'm watching so much Lexus V8. Better be a Challenger. Twin turbo seems sweet. So yeah, I mean, I could work with Hellion and maybe do a twin turbo scat pack. That could be a fun one. Um, Ultimately, guys, I would actually consider doing the new 6-pack. Uh, but it depends on what the price is. If the new 6-pack comes out, the high output version, right, the 2-door, because I actually really like the interior of the new car. I think that new car, the new 6-pack, is actually going to be a lot of fun to drive. And everybody say, oh, well, the Hemis are coming. But I mean, if that's, I don't know. I feel like the 6-pack, especially if I tuned it and did some fun stuff with it, could be very formidable. I like the way that car makes power. I mean, I like the way that engine makes power. So I don't know what the deal is with my dog tonight, guys. He is just, it's like he sees me paying attention to you guys and he can't stand it. Come over here. Come. So anyway, guys, that is kind of I'm thinking about moving a lot of different directions, but I've got to try and stick with builds where I don't have so much overhead, at least for now. Like I said, if Dodge comes out with something new that's really awesome, I can't give you guys a lot more on that down the road in the 2027 model year or whatever. I think maybe I could get on board with something like that. But again, I don't know if I'm a $200,000 guy. So there are a lot of dependencies there. Most of you guys at home, I mean, be honest, like, could you, and some of you can because I know some of you, but I mean, how easily can you go out and spend $200,000 on a car? And that's kind of the reality of things, right? I mean, my Hellcat, I paid 70 grand for that car, and that was well before I had my channel. I just wanted it, right? But then everything else I bought for my channel has been to try and grow the channel and just something that I wanted to have fun with, something new, right? And I'm always trying different things. What about a C6 ZR1? I considered that. Those cars are still really expensive, though. That's the problem. I also considered like a 2013, 2014 Shelby GT500. I think that would be fun. Those cars are still a ton of fun to drive. There's a lot of really cool cars out there. I thought about buying a 02 Trans Am for the channel and turning it into a race car. I thought that would be a lot of fun. So guys, there's a lot of different ways I could go. But what you're probably going to see from me, at least I feel like what's going to make the channel be a little more successful and continue to grow, is going to be, I'm just going to have to start trying to get more cars and turn over more cars for the channel. And I know not everybody likes that. And I don't necessarily like that, but I feel like it's necessary because I want to grow the channel, guys. I mean, I work really hard at this. It's a lot of work. I enjoy it. And I enjoy working, with you guys. I enjoy the comments, and I enjoy for the most part, I enjoy the comments. Probably from my people watching right now, I enjoy your comments. There are always those guys, but for me, it's like I said, I still have to be smart about things. I have to do things that make sense. And so anyway, I'm really enjoying watching all these comments come through right now, guys. So bear with me. I'm going to have to reset my comments here so I can check back in with you. Let's see here. I'm going to go down and check some more comments. Incoming 6-pack. So guys, I mean, if the incoming 6-pack is like 55 grand and that's for the high output version and I can get a good deal on that, I'm probably going to get one. We'll see. Because, if I can, that car is like a tuner's dream. I feel like as long as they can tune the car, that could be a pretty sick car. Because I do, like I said, I really like the interior. I know that they're working on the exhaust of that car to make it sound good. It will not sound like a Hellcat, but I feel like they could make it sound really good. And some of the tuner exhausts out there, I mean, on GTRs and stuff like that, no, they don't sound like, a Hemi V8 because they're not. but some of them sound ridiculous. So it just depends. It depends on what you like. But get a 23 Chrysler 300C. I looked at those. That's not off the table. But like I said, I don't know. I've got a lot of thinking to do on this. A G8 GT, yeah, that's an option. I could go with the old GTO, right? Remember the '06 GTOs? I used to have one. Um, there's a lot. I could go any different direction with it. I could see you in a Viper. I love the Viper, guys. It's too bad. I tried to get a Viper for the channel. I didn't go into a lot of detail about it, but I tried to get a Viper for the channel. I tried to get a 99, a Gen 2. I loved it. It was a 99 ACR, and it just didn't work out, guys. The banks, when it comes to cars that are that old, I mean, at this point, we're 26 years old, 27 years old. And the interest rates are ridiculous on those classic car loans. And everybody thinks it's just easy to go out and pay cash. But guys, I don't have that kind of cash sitting around to just do that. I mean, ideally, what you want to do is you want to go out and you want to use the car to make content, hopefully get a little bit of return, and use it to pay for the car. I mean, that's kind of the model that most people use. But everybody's different. So let me go down and check this super chat just came in, guys. Let's see here. Lansworth says, let's see, if the new Hurricane HO sounds anything like the BMW S58, that would be awesome. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Guys, I think those are going to start hitting the showrooms in 6 weeks, supposedly. Now, they may have bumped it back a little bit. I know that they bumped the 4 doors back towards the end of the year, but I was still under the impression that these cars have already gone into production. I will see if I can get some more information on that, but we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see. But if they do make a new Viper, I think personally it would be mid-engine, and I think it would be pretty sick based on what the engineering team is capable of on a car like that. The only drawback on that car would be just the price. I think it would be ZR1 territory for a car like that, and I think it would be ZR1 power personally. I think it would be up there. They're not going to put 700 horsepower in a new Viper. It ain't going to happen. If they do it, they're going to do it right, but it's going to be a lot of money. So, I could see myself stretching for a car like that, but right now, guys, like I said, I mean, I've got other things to kind of try and move on. And, like I said, I just want to do things in a smart way. Hopefully you guys understand, hopefully you guys enjoy the content. I just have to continue to try and, move things along the right way. Aaron saying, with the Fox, I love it, buddy. Thank you very much for the super chat. You guys have been very generous tonight. Thank you very much. My advice is to only do what is sustainable for you and your channel. There you go. Horse Called War. I mean, that's a great way to look at it, right? It's because at the end of the day, I'm still the one that's got to fit the bills for it, right? And like I said, I'll continue to try and put good content out for you guys that you find interesting. I don't want to go away from doing Mopar content, but there's a lot of things at play right now, right? If you haven't noticed, I wasn't going to jump into this a lot, but if you haven't noticed, people's money just isn't going as far anymore. If you go out to a restaurant, I mean, go talk to a lot of the restaurant owners, a lot of the small business owners, a lot of people out there that are traditionally, trending right along. People are not spending money the way that they used to. That's fact. I mean, it's literally fact. It's just not happening. And a lot of people are cutting back right now because things have gotten out of control with inflation. You can't afford nearly as much house. Cars have gotten almost prohibitively expensive. Food has gotten almost prohibitively expensive. Gasoline, I mean, just all of it across the board. Luckily, gas isn't quite as much as it used to be, but I mean, that's where we are. Okay, there's no blame to be passed around by me at this point. I mean, I'm not doing any of that, not going down that rabbit hole, but that's just the reality of where we are with things. And so when I've talked to a bunch of people that own businesses or that are GMs or whatever, and they all say the same thing. They're like, man, it's just slow. Like we're just not. I don't know. And have you guys noticed anything like that? Have you noticed that people just aren't spending money really the same way? Because that's what I'm hearing a lot of. So I hope this isn't the beginning of like a big recession or something like that. I am no economist, but all I know is what I hear and what I see, right? Just like you guys. So I don't know but I mean, it's the reality of things. Sovereign Knight saying 5 for the live. Thanks everybody for being here. Y'all are the best, buddy. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. My man Sovereign always jumping in there as as he always does. Sovereign Knight has been with me for a long time. Let's see here. What else we got here? Devon 427 Racing C606. I love it. Jerome's Chrome. I love that name. Is he still planning on doing anything with that LT? Yes, still planning on working on the Camaro, guys. You guys will see some content hopefully pretty soon. I've got a couple of things arriving for the car. I'm hoping in the next week. And then we'll start getting some stuff. I still need to go out and get a baseline on the car. Keep in mind, guys, it's hot. That car's not going to run a crazy time because it's hot and muggy here in Florida already. But hopefully when I get some mods on the car and start having fun with it, and we start getting into the cooler months this fall, the car will start running some numbers. We'll see. But anyway, that's the plan right now, guys. But I do intend on getting something else for the channel. It's just probably not going to be a six-figure car, as I just explained to you guys why. That doesn't mean I won't do another one in the future. We got to kind of just keep things moving, guys. And you guys get me to 250 likes tonight. Is that something we can do? If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up, do me a big favor. Grab that thumbs up button for me. I would really, really appreciate it. What's my daily, says Doug. I have a little Kia Forte that I bought, brand new, almost 2 years ago now. And I like that little car. You know, you guys remember when I did the promos for that Coverado seat company? I had them send me some seats for that car, and I love them. I love those car covers. They're really nice. Like, they look like luxury car seats in that car, and they fit perfect. And that car is a nice looking little car, man. It's that really like that light blue, almost that grabber blue. That's another thing that jogged my memory, is that, oh, by the way, that car was just really for gas mileage, has a big trunk on. The little Kia Fortes, guys, I mean, I know they're not super nice Mercedes or anything, but I mean, they get good mileage. They're really comfortable. You know, the electronics in that are insane for like a $24,000 car. Like, it literally steers itself and it does all sorts of, I mean, it's just a cool little car. I mean, it's a great little car for me to just drive around every day, all day long in the rain. And I can put 2 sets of golf clubs in the back, 3 actually. That little car is really good. It was a good investment. We'll put it that way, and it's reliable. You know, so no issues with the Kia Forte, but it's a good question. But what do you guys think? I mean, is it worth going out and buying the? Patrick says, "Do I miss Texas?" We can jump into that. Is it worth going out and buying the dark horse at this juncture, guys? I really don't think so, because again, we're looking at $70,000 for a 5.0. Granted, it's got some cool suspension parts on it. I mean, I think it looks good, but that's the reason I didn't buy it in the first place. It's a $70,000 5.0 that's heavier than a Mustang GT. And I just don't see it worth it, guys. I don't. I like the interior of the car. I just don't think it's a $70,000 car. I would much rather have the 6-pack. The 6-pack will be faster. I feel like it has a nicer interior. It may not sound better, but I feel like all around, the 6-pack is just going to be a nicer car. It's going to have more room in it. It's a hatchback, so it's going to open up for more. It'd just be more user-friendly, all-wheel drive versus 2-wheel drive. And I think the 6-pack will be cheaper. So, not everybody's going to be on board with that, but I just don't see the dark horse being worth it. I really don't. So anyway, guys, that's my thought process on it. We'll see. Shelby Super Snake. I like that. Let's see, the Supra. I actually do like the Supra. Somebody mentioned the Supra. The problem with the Supra, and the Supra is actually a really fun car to drive, but the problem with the Supra is just I don't know how to put this. It's the crowd that it brings, and it brings just a younger crowd, a younger, more immature crowd. And it's the same issue I had with the WRX. Do you guys remember when I had the WRX on the channel? Most of you probably don't. I know guys like Sovereign Knight, some of my veterans, you guys know that the car was great. The car was a ton of fun to drive. I could go take corners in the rain at 50 in that car, and it did not care. And it was a good little car, but it attracted a lot of people that were just very young, very immature, that all wanted to teach me how to drive because I don't know what I'm doing. Obviously, I don't have any experience driving. And they all just, you can't drive, you don't know how to shift, and so these 18-year-olds all wanted to come teach me how to drive. And I'm so happy that they wanted to actually take the time out of their day to teach a rookie like me how to drive. Um, but that's kind of the crowd there that I was trying to get away from, and that's the issue with the Supra. And and the Supra is a very fun car to drive. If you guys have driven one, it's different. It's like driving a go-kart on steroids, but they're actually pretty fast. And I've seen some that are really quick. Um, but it's just not my niche, so to speak. And that's the issue I have with a lot of the imports. I actually like the M4 competition. I think that's a sick little car. But again, my import stuff, it just doesn't do all that well on the channel. Not to say if I didn't build up that portion of my channel, but I think it would turn off a lot of my traditional, American muscle type folks, which is kind of how I built my channel. So, those things all go through my head. I mean, I'm being, like I said, this is all being very transparent with you guys about my thought process when it comes to selecting cars for the channel. Um, an Altima. That's the fastest car on earth, by the way, is the Altima. I think it's so funny because there's, the joke about the Altima, because people in Altimas, for whatever reason, think they're driving a McLaren F1. They all think that. And it's like every time I get my doors absolutely blown off, right? Somebody sucks the paint off my car. I look over and it's a freaking Altima. I have no idea why or why Altimas go 300 miles an hour, but that seems to be the case. So, yes, the Ultima's the quickest car. Anyway, guys, let me see what else I got for you really quick before I forget. Oh, I have a video coming out tomorrow. I did speak with Frank Rhodes. Do you guys remember Frank Rhodes? Ever wonder where he went? The great grandson of Walter P. Chrysler. He was the one who proposed an American buyout when Carlos Tavares was efficiently running Stellantis. And I talked to Frank extensively yesterday. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday. And put a video. Actually, I didn't put the video out. The video is coming out tomorrow. But the big thing for me was, look, I just want to find out from Frank, how does he feel about the current status of things, right? With Roy Morgan, good to see you, buddy. What's up? Glad you're on. Thanks, Roy. I appreciate you being on, and thank you for the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate it. But what does he think? I mean, what does he think about the current state of Chrysler? What does he think about the current state of Stellantis as a whole? Does he feel like there's a future for the brand? I mean, because after all, think about it. What do we really have on the Chrysler front? What's come out from Chrysler in the last 2 years? What is Chrysler giving us? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They have the minivan. That's it. They have 3 variants of the minivan. One's a hybrid. And that's literally all that Chrysler has given. And I don't know what Mrs. Fuel is doing there at Chrysler, but I can tell you right now, Frank Rhodes had some dialogue with the new CEO, and he had some dialogue with Christine, the CEO over Chrysler. And when I say the new CEO, I'm talking about over all of Stellantis, Antonio, that just got promoted to that position. He is the new Tavares. He has talked to both about what's going on with Chrysler. And tomorrow I will weigh in on my video, hopefully get it out by 4 o'clock tomorrow for you guys, about what Frank Rhodes thinks about the future of Chrysler. Is he optimistic? Is he pessimistic? Anyway, it was good to talk to him. He wanted me to come out to the Cars at Carlisle event, which I don't know if I'm going to make that, guys. I don't do as much traveling as I used to, but we'll see. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Chrysler? Should they just close up shop? After 2 years of giving us absolutely nothing, what do you think? So anyway, guys, there'll be a video out tomorrow about my conversation with Frank Rhodes about the future of Chrysler, which might catch a few of you guys off guard. And that's all I'm going to tell you right now. So wait and see tomorrow's video, hopefully 4 o'clock Eastern. Let's see. Also, there was one other thing I wanted to touch on, then I will get to some more comments. Bring back the Dodge Stealth. Aaron, I could not preach that more. I do believe Dodge, I think I've mentioned this to you guys, is coming out with a small, more compact vehicle, which I think is sorely needed and has been sorely needed. I've been preaching that to Matt McAleer and Tim Kuniskis before him for the longest. We've lost touch with that segment, right? That entry segment for the younger folks that don't have 60, 70, 80, $100,000 to get into a Dodge product. But they could still make something fun. These Hurricane lines of engines are perfect for something like that. We'll just have to wait and see, guys. So, but I don't think they're saying the Stealth once again is going to be a like mid-size SUV or even like a larger SUV as the Durango replacement. They think the Durango might go away and they're going to call it a Stealth, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. I think they should bring back the Stealth. They need to have like an all-wheel drive, put the Hurricane high output in it, and put the Hurricane standard output in it. Or even the Hurricane 4 that goes in the Hornet. That little sucker scoots. So they could have an entry level, Dodge Stealth. They could redesign it, put the Hurricane 4 in it. Same thing, 280 horsepower in the like in the Hornet GT, and then put a Bad Daddy version. Even if just the standard output Hurricane went in that thing, that sucker would move if they made it light. So I mean, there's so many possibilities for a new Stealth. I really hope they don't make another stupid SUV for the masses, but we'll just have to wait and see. They're not stupid, guys. I don't want to say it that way, but I'm getting tired of just everything being so geared towards SUVs and crossovers. I know that's what the masses are buying. They're just so boring. But anyway, that's my thought process on that. On the 8th, guys, expect a video from me. On the 8th, we have 170 people still in. We got to 250 likes, guys. Thank you. That is awesome. The 8th is fast approaching, just a few days from now, and Ram has promised an announcement. And we know Tim Kuniskis is going to be bringing the heat. He's said they're going to bring out like 27, 28 different product offerings. That's not going to be brand new vehicles, but they're going to be offering different things. But I know in the Skunk Works over at Ram, they are working on a lot of stuff. And I wish I could tell you guys more, but I can't. But wait until the 8th when Ram starts making announcements. A lot of you guys maybe kind of know what's already coming. I already know, but I cannot. I can't tell you. I'm sorry. I wish I could. But anyway, guys, expect a video from me on the 8th talking about what's coming down the pipe from Ram, and it'll be cool. We'll see. So anyway, guys, expect that. V10 Ram. Let's see. Sovereign saying hi to Roy. Let's see. Who else? ZR1 has LS9, LT5, and now LT7. No LT1 in the ZR1. Correct. Tim is awesome, says Sovereign Knight. Yes, he is. Tim is a true car guy. I've always said that about Tim, right? He is a car guy first and a CEO second. But you want to talk about a guy that's passionate about being about building cool cars. That's really what he's passionate about. You think Tim Kuniskis couldn't have taken the CEO job of Stellantis? But it's not what he wanted, because ultimately he just likes to build cool stuff. That's and at that position, right, that level, it's all politics at that level. It really is. You're not so much focused on building the product. You're focused on shareholder value. You're focused on being a politician at that point, right? That's the legitimate part of it, is that you have a lot of say, but it's so political at that level, and you kind of lose touch with a lot of the vehicles and the passion, I feel like. And I think that's why Tim didn't take that job. So I'm not going to give you much more about it, but there you go. So anyway, guys, let's see. Let me grab some more comments before I jump off. I've been on a while tonight, guys. I know I go on these rants and don't get to a lot of comments, but you guys are amazing. So in short, I have not decided on what else I'm going to get for the channel, but there will be something else coming. I just have to, again, be smart and do the right thing. And I don't always know if it's the right thing, but I know going out and spending 6 figures on something is the wrong thing, at least right now. Okay, so let's see here. What does Doug say? Trenton engine is pumping out Hemis. Yes, that's correct. The Hemis are now being produced. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of those in the Ram trucks. We know that's coming in the 1500, which I think is going to be great. That is something I wish they would have put in the 1500 a really long time ago, back in, say, 2015. But they didn't want to undermine the Power Wagon at the time, which was getting the 6.4. And they've come to their senses, and now they're getting, now they're getting it, which I think is cool. So Bald Eagle, LT1 and ZR1 Chevy time. There you go. Let's see. Jesse, take out the G80 M3 in 6-pack. There we go. Let's see here. Stealth is a car. Keep it a car. Agreed, right? So that's coming in from Lanswath. Did I miss any super chats, guys? Let me jump up and make sure I didn't miss anybody really quick. And then I want to grab a few more comments. I think I got Roy's, so we're good. I think we're good. All right, cool. So let me see who else I haven't heard from. Gio says, let's see, you can go any brand, who cares? Well, that's true. I mean, and I could, and ultimately a lot of people say that. They're like, dude, just get what you like. And, there is some validity to that. But as I mentioned, I have to do what makes sense, right? It doesn't do me any good to go out and buy, a $200,000 car that I can't make any sort of return on or drive that much for fear of depreciating the value. Does it do me good to go buy an import where nobody will watch my content? Not really. So I do have to be kind of selective about the vehicles that I choose. And I want to do something that's fun, right? I want to do something that you guys will enjoy. So I'm always thinking about stuff like that. What does Null say? I thought the C8 Stingray 2, they are cheap now, and CCO Performance offers packages with full warranty. I mean, the C8 is an option. The problem is now we're talking about a car that's 5 model years old already, and they're everywhere. So the C8 content, I still haven't worked out the tuning on it. Yes, they have piggybacks, and I get that. But it doesn't do me a lot of good to get a car that the market has been kind of saturated when it comes to content. So that's another factor, right? This is why it's so difficult. You see, guys, you see why this is not an easy thing. Let's see, what else here? GTR, says Brandon. Turbo Pickle says something German. I did see that comment when it came in. Let's see who else we've got here. What's Aaron say? Get something you can enjoy and have fun with. Add a lot of mods. And that you would be excited to turn into a street slash track weapon. Yes, I think that's a really good comment, actually. And I agree. I think you guys know me. I've never been a max build guy, right? I've never been somebody that's like, I'm going to turn this into a full blown, like only go to the track race car that you really can't even drive on the street. Full out roll cage and gutted to the T, and take out all the electronics and the window motors and Lexan glass. And it's not that I couldn't, but at that point it becomes so unrelatable that unless you are just a hardcore racer, there's no sense in it, right? So it's not that I can't build something fast, but the idea is to build something fast that you guys can maybe relate to or you think is cool. That's not just a car that has to be trailered to the track, run the 1/8 mile or the 1/4 mile, and it has to be trailered home, and I can do nothing else with. And the Demon was kind of like that. But the Demon I could drive on the street. I took that car to Cars and Coffee, and I could go out and run 0 to 60 times with it, right? I took it to a runway. I did other things, so I think it's fun to have a car that does both. And one that has a full interior, or at least, one I can put a full interior in, right? Just put a Kirky seat and do everything else, seat deletes and all that. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense for my viewers, right? So anyway, guys, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of this is me just talking through stuff with you guys, and I really appreciate the input on this stuff. I always value you guys and your input. Pacifica, 287 horsepower. I'm looking at some of these comments. Bring the neon back, says Juan. Let's see, Christopher. Let's see here. You can mod the rear-facing TV screens. Well, that's true. Always go luxury. Let's see here. Isidore says carbon fiber cars. Well, I mean, that's an option as well. It's expensive. Let's see here. That didn't last too long. Let's see. Too much hype on those cars. Get a C8 ZR1 or ZTK. Oh, you may have jumped in a little bit late, Gino, but I did talk a little bit about the ZR1, about just how expensive it is, and I just can't make that car make sense. And like I said, I mean, $5,000 a month, and that's it if I didn't get marked up, and I just can't, with everything going on in the world and how expensive everything's gotten and just the value on return, it doesn't, I just can't, I can't make it make sense. I know you're going to have YouTubers out there that get them. I don't know how they're doing it. Maybe they make a lot more money on YouTube or whatever. Maybe they just make a lot more money doing something other than YouTube. That's always a possibility too. But I like Landon's comment. Get the Trans Am, and I thought about that. You know, those cars are still hard to come by, but I do love those cars. They do feel really old when you're sitting in them, though. I will tell you that. It's because I used to have one, and I sat in one recently, and boy, the interior of those cars feels very, very dated now. It's amazing. You know, anytime you get in a car now and you're like get in there and you just have to turn the key, and it's like, at what point do we go back to the windows? You know, where you have to roll them. But I do have an affinity for some of those older cars. Like I said, even I would really consider like a 2014 Shelby for the channel, but I just don't know. Those cars haven't really gone down that much in value either. It's weird. Like a lot of cars that I would consider like they're still really expensive. All the Vipers, you can forget it. They have just gone extremely, extremely expensive. Um, so you know, I don't know, guys. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways I could go with it. Let's see, Street Speed 717. Let's see here. Somebody mentioned is getting one. Well, of course, I'm sure Street Speed will have one. I'm sure Amelia will have one. There's probably a handful of people that'll get them, and they'll make 87 videos every day on them, and you know all that good stuff. So, oh, look at my man Quick Brick jumping in, and we were just talking about you, buddy. And we, of course, we talked right before this live tonight on my way home, and we talked about a lot of stuff. So I was actually telling them about your old Charger that you used to race on my channel and that we had so much fun with. And a lot of people don't know that a lot of the parts on Excessive actually came off of his Charger SRT. It's not a Scat Pack. He actually had an SRT, a 2015, a white one, beautiful car. But he was so careful with his mods. But he was the one who had the cammed car. I don't know if you guys ever remember that. A lot of you guys haven't been following my channel long enough to remember that car. But he still has some videos up on my channel of his car. There's one about should you cam a 392. That's his car. So anyway, buddy, geez, thank you for the super chat. Let's see, keep doing your thing, my friend. There's not a more genuine dude, buddy. I really appreciate that, man. And as I mentioned, a Quick Brick, and what makes, I mean, it's just not only my best friend, but I mean, like I said, sub number one. I think that is just remarkable every time I think about it, you know. So obviously you knew me long before I had my channel. But anyway, buddy, thank you very, very much for that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I was not expecting that. You didn't have to do that, but I do. I really appreciate it. And you guys know, I mean, one of those things, it's like you have to have a friend that you call when you make these car decisions. And obviously I talked to Rob significantly before I departed with my 170. And it was not, he knows, it was not an easy decision. It was, but it was necessary, right? And you know, but you have to have somebody that's willing to tell you, hey man, like this is what I think you should do and this is why. And somebody that you know isn't speaking from a place of like just what they want, but they know what's right for you, right? And that's always been him. So anyway, buddy, thank you again. I really appreciate it, man. You are the best. And guys, I'm getting kind of tired. Let me grab just a couple more comments after Quick Brick threw down that monster super chat there. I'm just like, wow, where do we go from there? Let's see. Guillermo says the CUDA, it's going to be the new 1320 with better numbers. We'll see, guys. You know, I've heard rumors about the CUDA. I can't substantiate anything on a CUDA right now, just so you guys are aware of that. But we'll see. I mean, I'm really hoping that the playbook opens up a lot for Dodge in the near future. One of the things I did mention is I hope they revise the Hemi engine. I think there's a lot of room for improvement with the Hemis before they start putting them back in production cars. I don't know how much change, you know, how much they've changed the Hemi that's getting ready to go in the 1500, but as was mentioned, these things are being produced already. But I gotta believe, because you know, if the administration changes again in 3 years, we're going to be back in the same boat, right? So can we make a more efficient Hemi, right? A more smog efficient Hemi, one that gets a little better gas mileage, one that makes more power. Like there's room for improvement on the Hemi, as I've mentioned in many videos before. You know, we know that Chevrolet just dumped 900 million into improving their 5.3 and their 6.2 V8s, right? So I got to believe that Stellantis should follow suit with that. We'll see. You know, but I've talked about it before, all the different ways they could improve that engine, and they're very smart people that work at Stellantis. I got to believe that they would do something like that instead of putting the same Hemi that's not very, that's not super fuel efficient. That is can get the Hemi tick, right, because of the oiling issues. I mean, there's a number of things that they probably should fix before they move forward, and maybe they will. Hopefully, they will. So we'll see. Anyway, let me grab two more really quick. Who else have I not? Let's see here. Landon says the Chevy SS would be something cool. It would. I agree. It's just I don't know. It would be kind of out there, I think, but it's still, Corvette engine and the SS. I mean, they're kind of hard to find, the SS. They don't think they made all that many. They're out there. Let's see, who else have we got here? Christopher. Let's see, that one's lighter. Where's this? Is that Earache SRT8? This is, I might have to sell my truck if they put a 392 in a single cab. I'm not expecting a single cab, guys, based on my conversations with different folks. I don't think they feel like there's that much of a market for it. That doesn't mean they won't change their mind, but this is what I've been told. So we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, I'm starting to get tired. I have been on for an hour and a half with you guys tonight. Remember, these sessions they're made for me to just kind of talk about things going on, things in my head, get a little bit of feedback from you guys. They're meant to be kind of interactive. I know I don't get to the comments as much as I probably should, but I do enjoy watching you guys kind of go back, with the comments. And I do kind of go back and read the comments after I get off these lives, guys. So I do appreciate your input. I really do. And as I mentioned, continue to send me video ideas, guys. Continue, if you have a really cool car you think is a good candidate for a video on my channel, please, shoot me a note on Instagram. A couple quick reminders, and I know I've already touched on this, but like I said, there's two big giveaways ending this month with Dream Giveaway. The Mammoth TRX, which is just sick. I love that thing. I don't know how much they got 200 something thousand dollars wrapped up in that truck. That one ends on the 16th, guys. So less than 2 weeks from now, that ends. So use my code RacerX, 4X entries, and the same with their 0 to 60 Sublime Green manual Hellcat with 19 miles on it. Once again, there's that collector, but when you go to buy it, I guess, or if you go to win it, it's cool. And then plus, like I said, guys, they give you all the money for the taxes. So it's not like you're out on that. You can select a cash option too. There's that. I would hope you wouldn't do that. I would hope you would take the car, but to each their own. But guys, use my code. And like I said, this is a big month for them with two big Mopar giveaways in the same month. And so anyway, guys, there's that. My hat's 30% off on my Etsy store. Sovereign Knight gave you the link to that, but you can find it in my video description, guys. On any of my video descriptions, there you go. Sovereign Knight again. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. Only 20 hats I'm doing that for, guys. That's red and black. So once 20's out the door, then I'm gonna end the sale. So I can't give you a date, but when I sell 20, that's it. And anyway, guys, thank you. I always try and close my live sessions with just kind of a parting thought. And I know, like I said, I did that little monologue in my last one talking about car people and how we're a little bit different and why cars are so important to us. But, this day and age, I don't get live to you guys enough, and I will make more of a conscious effort to do that because I do value this time with you guys. I really do appreciate it. Almost 270 likes tonight too, guys. So thank you for that. Lots of super chats tonight too. Thank you guys for that as well. You guys are very generous, and I appreciate every one of you guys, each and every one of you guys, your input and your support. It means the world to me. And I'm I'm going on 7 years doing this YouTube thing, which is wild to think about. But, and I've had my ups and downs. I want to continue to do this for you guys. So these kinds of things are what make it fun for me. This kind of stuff. Aaron says, always be good. Or let's see, always good to be with you, buddy. I appreciate you, Aaron. Aaron and my Sovereign Knight and you, my moderators, thank you guys for everything that you guys do. You guys know how much I appreciate you. You guys are amazing. And, all of my folks, I mean, I see so many folks on tonight that have been supporting me for years and years and years. And then some folks that are relatively new, but I do appreciate each and every one of you guys, what you guys do to kind of keep my channel relevant and keep me going. Because I need you guys just as much as maybe you guys appreciate my content. But anyway, I just want to leave you with a couple of parting thoughts because I do know, get another Demon 170, says Doug. I don't think that's in the cards, Doug. But my parting thoughts for tonight are, like I said, I talked a little bit about how things are getting kind of tough out there with money. And I think we all kind of get distracted from time to time just with minutia, right? We all sort of get lost in the shuffle and sometimes we get stressed out about stuff we really shouldn't. And I catch myself doing it all the time, right? I catch myself kind of going down a rabbit hole and getting depressed or whatever, upset about things. And in reality, uh, I think we all have to just be grateful for what we have, right? I was grateful for the time I had with my mom. So many of you guys sent me well wishes about like, hey man, I know you miss your mom, and I can tell, that she meant a lot to you, which she absolutely did, 100%. But man, I appreciate all the really nice comments on my last video. It spoke volumes to me, and just how many people were appreciative, and just how many people were kind of in the same boat as me who had just lost somebody that they loved, and that that my words resonated with them. Like there were a lot of people like, man, your video made me emotional. And I was like, dude, that's so cool that I could maybe make somebody's day a little bit better, or just kind of speak volumes to somebody, speak to somebody's heart. And that is why I like to be transparent with you guys, and that is why I like to just kind of be real with my content, because it's those kind of comments that make it worth it to me. And so you never know what people are going through, guys. I think sometimes we're quick to get upset or quick to judge, and I'm as guilty as anybody, guys. I really am. But just remember that, especially in the car community, we're all brothers, right? We're all have that commonality. And sometimes we get at each other's throat, or sometimes we get impatient with each other, or whatever else. But at the end of the day, as I mentioned, we're all brothers. And so treat each other with respect and dignity, and always think about how somebody else is feeling, or maybe what somebody else is going through. Be slow to anger, and quick to support. And that's just my biggest takeaway for tonight, guys. I really hope that each of you guys, um, RacerX and Demonology got me through COVID. Absolutely, buddy. Like I said, we as YouTubers, we're just a face on TV, we're a face on a camera or whatever. But maybe something I have said to you guys speaks to you in just the smallest way, and I love that. That to me is what makes it worth it, and why I love it. But at the end of the day, guys, respect each other, and love each other as brothers, and embrace each other, embrace our differences, and we'll all be okay. So anyway, guys, hold your families tight. You never know what tomorrow's going to bring, and words to live by, right? And you guys mean the world to me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for tonight. Thank you again for all that you do, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.